That actual experience, I witnessed that. I could have told that movie. Rich Porter, that was Money Mitch, it was about Rich Porter. He had actually was hitting us with work, when that happened. But I didn't want to tell a story through my eyes. I was about 15 years old at the time. But at the end of the day, when I saw, because we looked up to him, and I was like, he was like the coolest in Harlem at the time. And if he was hitting you with work, he was on. And I saw that if something like that, his brother got kidnapped, tortured, he got killed by his best friend, his little brother got killed, and I thought he was untouchable. So I was like, if that shit could happen to him, it could definitely happen to me. So I pivoted, and my cousin, Darian Dash, that's Stacey Dash's brother, don't get mad at me.
No.
And don't think when we get around the table, I don't be giving it to poets, trust me. Trust me. I'm not happy. But their stepfather was a A&R, actually was the president of Casablanca Records, and one of his interns, Cecil Holmes. Yeah, you know my whole family too. She knows everything. That's what I'm saying, I gotta get with her. She knows all the bodies about everybody. But we'll see.
All right, now, you in the music business, you got Rockefeller. Everybody has a certain strategy that they follow with their music, with their record label. What was y'all's method to the success of Rockefeller?
I think the confidence in knowing we were the best and not listening to the system and doing what was logical for us and having the money to do it. When you make more money than your parents at a young age and the teachers that teach you, there's an arrogance that comes with it, And I've been very confident since I've been alive.
Where should it come from?
The passion to be creative freely. If you want to do what you want to do, you got to pay for it, period. If somebody else pays for your dream, it's their dream. You got to listen to them.
Yeah.
So it's just freedom is priceless. And something that inspires you, that means you love it like a child. To just give it to somebody because for money, it breaks your heart. Like a game. In music, and most things, it's called your master. If you give it to someone, then they become your master. It says master. So why would you give away your freedom for $1? But there's levels of freedom. So people only look at freedom in the physical. But freedom is in the mental. That's all that really matters, is how you see things. So, just like with this YouTube and all that, it's like how you get free. Download America Nuu. NU. That's the network. And now, all that shit I talked about, the CPMs and them robbing us, here's the answer. I went and got with an ad agency and we built our own funnel directly to the ads, and we get the full benefit of the CPM. So let's say YouTube and Tubi and all them get it from Pablo. I flew around them and went to Pablo myself, and now I get it from Pablo. And y'all can get it from pause. I said pause. We good. I said pause. But now I get it from Pablo pause, and every content creator will also, with full transparency, be able to see a dashboard, and I'm pause busting it down 60-40 in the content creators' benefit, but it ain't for everybody. You gotta respect the art. You gotta be good. But that's what I've been doing the last 10 years. Directing every single piece of content that you see on there. And then Raquel has Applefish, which is for children. Because I don't like the education that's given to us. The education that we abide by that's implemented today is the same education that Thomas Jefferson implemented, which was to teach a black man how to listen to a white man, and how a white man can tell a black man what to do. And to this day, this is what we are abiding by and what's implemented. So instead of complaining, we got to make our own curriculums. We got to make the curriculum, not complain about it. So that's why Raquel wrote a book about space. I'm part of the OSG, 200 or 300 principles from economically challenged places. I say that, but I mean black principles, but they expect us to say black. When you throw a punch someone expects, they know how to block it, they know how to brace their face, and they know what punch to throw after it. We've been saying the same shit for 50 years. We gotta say something they haven't heard. And it's not about color, it's about social class. It's the 99% and the 1. And the way you keep do that on your own. And I've been saying that, and I did it on my own, and that was Rockefeller. And I'm saying that about television networks. And that's why I did it on my own. I'm walking it like I talk it, download it now, and watch the commercials, and I'm not getting robbed. Full CPM, and my family owns that shit 100%. Not one investor. I didn't raise a dollar.
Amen.
And that ain't for everybody. Because I'm crazy. I sold 3 companies already before I was 35. So of course I know I'm gonna win. What I look at is exit strategy when I start a company. How much do I make? What's the multiple? How much can I sell it for? I sold I didn't make no money with Rockefeller. That shit was whack. Half of it went to Universal, and then me, Jay, and Biggs had to split it 3-way, and Jay was getting crazy money as an artist. He was double dipping. It wasn't enough money for my kids to eat. So we had to do Rockwood. But when I sold that, and when we sold that, it wasn't enough money to look at. 10, 20 million. And I know it sounds good when you don't have it, but your bills get high after you make a couple of million. So if you got $400,000 a month in bills, that shit burns quick. And all the people you got to loan money to that ain't gonna give it back, and taxes and everything else, that shit evaporates. You be like, how you go broke? Yo, if you making 100 but your bills 120, you broke.
Yep. Man.
Trust me on that, I know. What we talking about now?
Every time we get next to y'all, taking the credit, we own our own company, we look like artists. Blake, man. Yo, Blake, you got a jacket over there, right? See this jacket? Shit. You see the Memphis Bleed? I didn't ever have a Rockefeller coat that said Memphis Bleed. This the only thing Def Jam got one.
And I edited that and put it in the movie. I made it my highlight flip.
What's the biggest misconception of you?
That I care what people think.
Love it.
You can relate to that on deep.
I can't.
So that means you don't give a fuck.
Have I ever
Zero.
acted like I did?
Explain the term culture, and where that comes from.
Comes from, well, I made the poster boy of that. It's just someone that's not from our culture that exploits it, you know, and that's coined so we can recognize it. Like, cause there was never a word for that. It'd be an explanation, but culture vulture sums it up quick. That's death for somebody white in hip hop.
Yep.
Like they'd rather be anything but that. But no, not culture. And, you know, that's basically not just for like white people, that's for people that are not creative, that exploit creators. Someone that exploits culture that's not from that culture. So a black man that's exploiting rock and roll that doesn't play rock and roll could be a culture vulture as well. It could go both ways. See, I've been around 3rd generation wealth lately, and I didn't know that you could actually go through a whole life rich with no financial problems. You know, weird shit could happen, but you don't have to worry. I mean, I know people like 70 years old that just were rich, and they front on me like, what you doing? Counting my money. And it's money their grandfather made. They didn't have to work a day. This is what it looks like. All you gotta do is give money away to a charity from the trust. That's it. So that's the kind of wealth I want to build. You have to dream like that. And then again, you got to keep and never be influenced by people without a dream. Because they don't want your dream to come true. They're going to be mad because you're going to take their girl. You know? And they're going to be mad because they're scared and you're not. So they're going to always try to deter you from your dream. The people that you take care of the most are the ones that sometimes distract you the most. So you gotta be like, or that are like your closest to you. My rule of thumb is if you don't have a dream, you can't be around me. Because I don't want to waste a second with distractions until my dreams come true. Then I could watch you talk about shit I don't care about. But until then, I only got a certain amount of real estate in my brain, and unless I can fill it up with the future and cool things, I don't want to have visuals of bad things, because that's what happens. So when you start dreaming and somebody tells you the worst reason and the worst, like why it can't happen, and the worst part of it first, that's what you visualize last, and that's what ends up happening. So when I'm dreaming, I'm very offended if somebody tells me a negative in my dream first. Tell me some positive shit first. Don't tell me the worst shit first. You know, just because a lot of people sometimes say negative things just to be heard. If people pass you too many drinks and too much weed, unless you ask, and they don't have a dream, they're only doing that to stay in your dream. If you have a relationship with someone without a dream, and you have a dream, they're just gonna be waiting around for you all day, thinking about why and what you're doing when you're not around. And they're gonna always try to make you as uncomfortable as they are, and that becomes a distraction. Don't be distracted by non-dreamers. Never listen to somebody that doesn't dream. Ever. Ever. And then once you find what your dream is, it shouldn't be to make money. Dream about what you would do for free and make that what makes you money. That's the art, because then it never feels like work. I haven't worked a day in my life, and I love fighting. I love it. What is a general without a war? And you're not a general unless you fought. You were in training camp. And I like war. And there's a lot of love to fight for. My currency ain't money. It's love. And I think that men have to recognize that women are God. They create life. And a lot of men don't like that. And our job is to make sure a woman can create life uninstructed and to respect it, because I can't create it. God creates life, right? Any dudes you know can create that? And again, like, you know, my dream was to have a family, to raise my children instead of visiting them. You know? For us to fight each other. Trust me, in hip-hop and movies, I've always tried to bring us all together and work together. For some reason, there's just some programming that's happened that makes us not do it. Just go against what you feel and just do the right thing. Do what's logical. If we stick together confidently, unapologetically, and fight for love, we need nobody. And it's not a color thing, it's a mentality thing. It's a like-minded thing. Again, I can't judge you for what you did, what your grandparents did. If you still think like your grandparents, you know, fuck off. But if not, let's rock. You know what I mean? But other than that, don't think in nothing but boss. Period. And bosses work with bosses. Generals have armies. They work with other generals that have armies to win the same war. That's why politics don't make sense. But it does, right? We're all fighting to make America great, but you got Democrats and Republicans fighting to save the same block. It's to see how you're gonna react to shit. And to see if you're ready to evolve or take the test over. So look for the test. Pass them. It's easier to pass the test, be uncomfortable, so you ain't gotta start all over again from scratch and be hard. But that's what happened. Life is a test every day. It's about reactions. And emotions get you in trouble. Deal with your logic before your emotion. That's gangster.
Last question right here. We gotta wrap it up.
And that's coming from someone that's emotional. But still, I'm still strategic with it. I let that happen so I could tape them doing that shit. And I edited that and made it a movie. You want to play me? I'm going to make you a highlight flick and I'm going to put it in theaters. And that's what I did to Kev. And he changed his whole appearance to get away from that one. Ask him about it.
Appreciate that. Dame, I would like to ask, how do a city as small as Chattanooga bring the spotlight? And I do want to take this 1 second to say this. We have some of the best artists in Chattanooga. I have been everywhere. I done been on the West Coast. I done lived up north. And everybody keeps saying, move away from the city. I really don't want to hear that shit no more, because I done had to come back to Chattanooga from Baltimore to get a video shot, because we got some of the best videographers. I done had to come back down here to go to the studio, because we got some of the best studios. So I know for a fact, moving out the city is not the way that we got to do this. How do we bring the spotlight?
Have you made a movie with your production on it yet?
No, they ain't made no movie. I got videos.
Okay, make a movie with your great production, show the rest of the world, and everyone will come in. But you gotta show, I don't wanna hear about it, I wanna see it.
Exactly.
Cause I'm a movie maker, I appreciate the art. And if y'all can't now, you have a platform, America Nuu, you can monetize it fairly. If you have all these creatives, make a movie. Don't expect anybody from somewhere else to help you. Make your movie with your talent, put it out, and also make a movie about here.
Yeah.
I made a movie about Harlem. So I went home and recognized I make music, I make movie, I make clothes, and it'll be me. But you know, that's what you gotta do. Make something that's tangible to sell. But when you make it, it gotta be better than your competition. I got you. Make some noise. So again, this is what I would do. And we good now. Let's go. So I got you. I appreciate you. Definitely. You just gotta perform that. You just gotta take that on the road. You gotta make merch. You gotta make content. And if you do have the content, we'll put it on America Nuu. We'll monetize it.
He's the boss man.
Right?
He's the boss
Boss.
Your money is that's not gonna work. That's not a compelling argument, right? Like, if you start over. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm doing
Hey, bro, when I seen that shit,